Thanks for your company on another episode of Always Be Connecting. It has been a stressful couple of years, and honestly, I've been working really hard the last 3 years, the last year, and I am actually really sleep deprived today because I've got a big job. So we are going to talk about changing the mood, changing your stress. If you look back this time last year at videos of me, you can see the cortisol on me. So I've done a lot of self-care myself this year to try and find my inner self beyond the water retention, and to sort of help me unpack some of these ideas is the beautiful, lovely Dima who has joined us. Thank you, Dima.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited because what you just said,
Yeah,
I think we don't know how many people are struggling, even myself, the
100%.
past 4 years.
I never told anyone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like a roller coaster. And it's always going to be when you are the person who's ambitious, who wants to do more. And stopping, not like self-care is very important, yeah? Breathing is very important, but also you just said it. You said 1 year ago the cortisol was showing on my face, and today it's not really showing on your face.
Yeah, that's
Means
just
you've done,
KFC.
you've done something, like, and I'm sure if you look back and you look at the small accomplishments, because expectations, like we want to reach the moon before we can even embark on
Yeah.
a ship.
Everyone's got something to prove. Everyone wants to make a contribution. Everyone wants to tell their story, be valuable. And it's hard. There's 8 billion of us all trying to do the same thing.
Exactly, but we think that we've been taught in a way that it's all about competition,
Hmm.
and there are billions of opportunities, because each one of us comes with a different set of options. Like, when you have this car that you bought full option, and someone else has a different car full option, it's very relative, and they're so happy about their car and you're happy about your car. But what ruins it is when you stop and start thinking, okay, now I got the car, I think I need that other car. And here I would say attaching our happiness to that contribution. So yes, we want to contribute to a better world, we want to contribute to marketing, we want to contribute to like the well-being of other people. But am I living the journey in a nice way? Am I happy the way I am? Or I'm saying, the day I will achieve this award, the day I will be acknowledged, I'll be happy.
Mm.
And this is where I ask myself the question I told you. What if today is the last day of my life? So yes, I have those plans. I want to travel the world. I want to make a difference. I want to change governments. But then, if today is the last day of my life, am I happy? Am I enjoying that journey, or I'm postponing till that day? And so many people, trust me,
Are you satisfied?
they postpone that happiness till that day, and that day never comes because our ambition is too big, and we want more and more and more, and then we end up sick, we end up aborting the journey and not achieved happiness. It's all through the journey.
So walk us back to your rock bottom, because that was when things changed. Tell us a little bit about how rock bottom came about. And I
Okay.
want to make a point as well that, like, people talk about rock bottom, but there are miles beneath rock bottom,
Yes.
and everyone's got a different rock
Yeah.
bottom. So, there's
It's relative.
it's relative.
It
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
relative. And yesterday night, someone shared with me a photo of two dogs. Okay, try to imagine it with me. A big dog,
Yeah.
the mud just on its legs,
Okay.
just the legs, and a small dog where the mud is up to here.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah.
It depends not on the size, it depends on the journey. So some of us would feel suffocated, and someone else would stand like, oh, are you really worried about that? Yes, I'm worried because it's relatively to me, to my journey, it's suffocating. So rock bottom is definitely relative. depends to so many things. But I'll tell you my story, but put your seatbelts on.
Yeah.
So I'm an architect originally. I used to work in Dubai and I used to work in construction. So I wasn't in design, I was in execution. So I was on sites,
Yeah.
sometimes one woman between 1,000 men.
And construction is 7
Is
a.m.
already,
till
I used to
7
call
p.m.
myself the doctor of buildings because I used to work in fit outs, which means I need to deliver 11 costas in 1 month. And I'm the person in charge of all the teams. Now, I think a lot of women that are hearing us today will relate to that. We reach a point where we want to prove that we're the perfect mom, we can be a career woman, we can do everything. And at that time, I was trying to prove perfect partner, perfect mother, perfect career woman, perfect at everything I do.
Yeah.
Until I started, like, I'm known for my smile. I always smile.
Yeah.
And suddenly, when someone say, "How are you, Dima?" I'm like, I start crying in such a crazy way, like crying, and I wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
And at that
So a
time,
breakdown.
a breakdown, but still, I was trying to search for answers because I'm someone who's very curious.
Yeah.
Okay, I reached out for coaches, psychologists. Everyone wanted me to join their sales funnel.
Of course.
And yes, I understand we need to work, it's a business, but sometimes that's where I come in from a different perspective. I'm crying and you're telling me yes, 15 minutes discovery call, 30 minutes discovery call. Okay, but that person is crying. How can you stop the discovery call to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, the time is up, is up, and if you want, you can sign up for my program that costs X, Y, and Z." And at that point, I was like, yes, I was making money. I had 3 kids with me in Dubai. It's too expensive. And we don't put priority for ourselves. Anyway, but I wasn't convinced. If someone convinced me, I would have taken that offer. I went to Instagram and I started sharing my views just because I couldn't afford the time or the money commitment to help myself with what's going on. To my surprise, people who were reading my quotes and my captions started reaching out and say, "Can you help me?" And I'm like, "Me?" And behind that screen, there was a woman who was crying. I was like helping and crying, but bit by bit, I started realizing that I was told I need 12 months to be better. I was told 6 months to be better. And the more money you paid, the faster. So with these conversations, people didn't know who I am because I didn't put a face on my Instagram page at that time. I was chatting with them. After half an hour or 1 hour, people will come back with an emoji of a smiley face or a sad face and telling me I got it. I'm like, what did they get? And they would disappear.
Hmm.
And it kept on happening until they came back. One of them came back. The second came back, said, telling me, "Do you know that you saved my life?" I'm like, what? He said, "Yes, I wanted to end my life. And when you talked to me, I changed my life. I changed the way I was thinking." Another one came and said, "I started a new business. I quit my job. I changed university degrees. I divorced," and all these things. And this is where it hit me that all I did is gave these people the space to talk, and it wasn't really intentional. It wasn't like, "Oh, me, I'm the savior. I want to do that difference." I was listening.
Starting a conversation
That
and then listening.
and that helped me reflect on how I was feeling, and I started getting better because one of the things I really discovered is when we're depressed, what do? We stay in our bed, we don't talk to someone, we stay away from everyone.
Yeah.
But by accident, I was interacting with people. So what happened when I was explaining to someone something they asked about, just from because I love helping. I've always loved helping. Since I was 15, I always wrote a mission statement, like I want to make a difference. And I was reading all these books. So based on that, I realized that all what people need was connection. They needed someone to talk to them. And that's how I healed. And that's honestly part of it, because there is the other part, which is faith. But the first part is also helping other people.
So what were your conversation starters? What was bringing people in? Because there's plenty of people out there wanting to get attention and wanting to be people to come and comment on their
Yeah.
social posts. But
Look, I think since we're also in a marketing agency, I would say being yourself. If you have something that you're passionate about, and it didn't start as a business. For me, mind architecture wasn't a business at the start. It was me dealing with my own issues, and I genuinely wrote from the bottom of my heart. And at that time, there was no ChatGPT. And I was writing whatever I was feeling, I was writing. And even the quotes, I either take a quote from someone who's famous, let's say, or I would create a post based on my pain.
so it wasn't like unbridled positivity. It wasn't
no.
like hope tomorrow is success
Yeah,
today. I
look,
don't know.
There are things you can learn from those quotes, because it stops you it stops that negative rumination, and it gets you to really stop and think, oh, what are they talking about? Okay. But I would say when I was talking to people, they would tell me something like, I want to end my life. And I'd start asking things about their life, about their family, because most of the time, if you ask yourself questions and you answer them, it's different. And I'll give you an example. If you have a point of view, you're talking to someone and they say, can you send me an email about that? Okay. You stop and you have to write the email. You have to put a sequence to that. So many things change because you are putting your mind in action. And I think the first thing we should do is self-awareness when we are dealing with this type of depression or anxiety. I'm not talking about trauma because it's a completely it's on a different level.
Yeah.
But even when I think about it, I did not reach that dark place, let's say, in one day. And that's what I'm trying now to advocate for. People don't feel depressed in one day. It's sometimes a year or 2 years or 3 years of overthinking stuff and just letting them in and in and in. And then we reach a point where we, like, that's it. I'm gone. I can't take it anymore.
It's so hard though, because last year when things were stressful for myself,
Yeah.
There was no time. There was no time. I had kids to go places. I had work to make sure that everyone had jobs, and there was no time for anything else, and there were expectations. So people in that situation, where do they find?
I'm trying to reflect on how I did it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I feel that way. But you know, the breathing, simply breathing,
Yeah.
stopping and breathing makes a difference. I'll tell you biologically from what I learned. I always use evidence-based concept, and I try to put them in a very simple way. So our mind, when it's under stress, it narrows. So our view, our perspective becomes focused on the problem. And we're so focused on the problem that we can't breathe. Okay?
Or find time.
And I'll explain it even in detail, but let me give you the other idea that when I am not under stress, my mindset narrows. Widens.
Yep.
So when it widens, I start picking up the right ideas for my situation. Now, why does this happen?
I'm thinking about my brain, and my brain does feel pretty narrow this week.
Yes, because you are focused on, I don't have time. Honestly, once we stop because we don't stop because we don't have time. And it's like there's a fire and I need to put water on it. Stop it. But the more I try to stop it, the more it goes bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. when we stop, just stop, do nothing, go for a walk. You know the walk?
Yep.
What happens? And we don't have time for a walk, but yes, we do have time for 5 minutes. We do have time on scrolling and checking the social media. We do have time to check my LinkedIn post. And I'm telling you, I'm not telling you, I'm telling myself when I was in that situation, I say I don't have time. The minute I said, okay, tomorrow I'm going to write down everything I do during the day, right? I started realizing I put, let's say, cleaning the house before anything. Yes, it is my space, and I really want it to be perfect. But was it a priority when I had so many other things to do? No. So I started putting that off. Washing, I had 5 loads of washing, but I'm like, you know what? This is not my priority right now. So when you stop and take that breath, what happens? Your mind starts thinking. It's not
Yep.
like trying to run away from something. And when you start thinking, you start realizing that, okay, yes, it's so important to go with the kids, right? I want to take the kids somewhere and I have to do it. Yes, I do it. But then instead of sleeping, oh no, my schedule is I need to sleep by 10. No.
Yep.
Tonight, just because I have something important to do, I'm going to push that till 11 and I'm going to do whatever I need to do during that time. So sometimes I feel that because we want things in a certain way, we want to stick to that schedule because all our life we've been organized. Yeah, fine, but now you're growing. And when you're growing, your schedule should grow. The way you see things should grow. And yes, sometimes we need to put the things that are not very important. But let me take you back to the mind so I can convince you what's
Yeah.
happening inside your mind. Yeah?
Because
You,
what you're saying is so spot on. Because I'm like, okay, feel my brain, and it does feel like it's a narrow corridor. I
yeah.
can feel like the sides compressing on it, and I've still got jobs to do, and I've still got the things to finish by a certain deadline. But a week ago I bought roller skates. I haven't done roller skating for 20 years,
Oh,
and 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 I'm making time this weekend. I'm gonna go Centennial Park, go for a skate, and I can sense what you're saying about the brain
yeah.
widening. I can almost feel it now. Like,
Can I tell you something? Close your eyes now, honestly, and try to think you're in the Centennial Park and you are riding your skates. And you're looking at all these trees, listening to the birds, feeling the breathe.
oh, I can't go too deep. You're gonna make me like, oh, I'm so stressed.
No, but honestly, it doesn't, you don't need to even do it. Just having that feeling. Why? Okay, we are coming into summer. When it's too hot, your body reacts with sweating. Why? We have sensors, and those sensors on our body take the heat from the air, send, let's say, an order to the brain and saying, I'm too hot. What the brain does, it sends back an order to the body to sweat because when we sweat, we are less hot. Okay? Now, when circumstances happen in our lives, it's the same. We have sensors, and those sensors take the information and send it to the brain. But this time, it's not like hot or cold. It's an accident. It's stress. It's my family. It's whatever is happening in my life. In this case, the mind is that's the difference between the mind and the brain. The brain is the organ. The mind is the interpretation. It's that we can't touch the mind, but that mind interprets stuff, right? When it interprets, it will give to the brain an order, and the brain is gonna send that order to the whole body.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, our mind, where does it take the information from? It's from our past. The mind is divided into two. And again, I'm not a biologist.
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist. I've learned this through psychology, through reading, and it makes so much sense. And I make it simple. So just simple. Take it as it is.
Yeah.
Now, the mind has two parts. It has the conscious and the subconscious. Some people say unconscious. I call it subconscious, just for the sake of understanding. Our subconscious is Now we're gonna go to. It's fine. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. The subconscious is almost 95% of our life. Why? When we were born, we didn't know language. I'll give you just an example of language. We didn't know anything. We didn't know the alphabet. We didn't know anything. Our parents started talking to us in a language, baby language, and we started the ba, ba, papa, ma. You know, we started linking that. At the beginning, it was very hard. As a baby, you mumble, you say things we no one understands. But with practice, over and over again, and hearing our parents, hearing teachers, childcare, whatever, we developed this language. And look, today we have this like unbelievable amount of words and thoughts that come automatically. That's why our subconscious is 95%. It's all these experiences that we went through that show up when we need them. Now I need that information, I can articulate it, right? The conscious is 5%. It's everything new. So I'm conscious, I'm trying to learn something new. Take you into a different example. The car.
This is interesting, yeah.
The car. On your L, when you're driving, before the L, you have to learn the knowledge, right? Then you are on the L, you have someone teaching you. With time, you repeat and repeat and repeat, and suddenly you're on your P. Then you move into another P, and then you're full license. What did you do during that time? You trained your subconscious mind. Consciously, you couldn't drive. Bit by bit, with training, I became more conscious about the learning, but that learning became unconscious. And now I drive without thinking. Right. So let me explain that concept even in a more simple way. Your phone, if you have a touch screen, the touch screen doesn't work if we don't have applications. As a baby, from 0 to 7, during that time, we didn't have applications. At 7, our consciousness starts to work. From 0 to 7, it's our parents, it's the manufacturer who put those applications in. We look at our parents and we start repeating and how do you say, like training yourself on that app. You train, and now you use the app. So this is the person from 0 to 7. 7 to 12, we already know the applications, we already tried them, but now we are becoming mastered because we are using the application. From 0 to 7, we are not really using them. We are being trained by our parents. So our parents say, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, right? At 7, we start using our minds, and you see from your kids that they become more independent. They use the toilet, they use everything they brush their teeth. Everything becomes very automatic. At 12, and here, those who are listening and have teenagers, they say something happened around that age, and I can't control them. Yes, you gave them the programs, you gave them what they need to do, you trained them, and sometimes we over control them. But by 12, their consciousness is almost ready to rule the world.
Yep.
So they use that, and sometimes, but they say they're swearing. Do you swear? Yes, I do, but I don't do it their way. But they're taking it from us. So when we look at our kids and we see something not right, we have to look back and see what's happening. Why I told you all this story? We were talking about the mind.
Yeah.
The 5% and the 95%, right?
Yeah.
If that experience was negative all along the way, my subconscious is negative. If it was a good experience, it's positive. Now, we said something happened.
Does anyone have positive 95%? Everyone's got relative trauma.
Yes, but how you see your trauma? I had a very negative subconscious mind. Now they call me, you're on a la land, Dima. Because I trained it not to look at those things that happened in my life as a liability. I don't look at the things that happened to me and I point fingers to whoever, my parents, my ex-boyfriend, or whoever that person we think has caused the damage in my life. I don't look at people that have caused the damage. I look at them as actors. They're actors in our lives. They deliver a lesson.
Yep.
We either learn the lesson and make the best out of it, or we're stuck in it and trying to figure out why did this person did this to me.
So we're either a cracked plate or we're wabi-sabi.
Remember that thing
Yeah.
with Japanese?
Yeah.
I don't know what the name is.
Wabi-sabi.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
when
yeah.
it's beautiful
So
in its imperfections.
yes, and yes, exactly. So you see, I my memory is really crazy, and you see that they put gold on it.
Yeah.
Yes,
In the crack.
to show that the crack is really they appreciate the crack, because the cracks in our lives, imagine our life was really beautiful. We had nothing to think about. How would our brain grow? Wait,
Yeah.
the muscles in your body.
Well,
If you
but
don't
why
go
would
to the gym,
why would we be motivated to do stuff
if I don't have something, a challenge to
yeah.
really go through our body, if I don't go to the gym, if I don't move, the muscles are gonna die. And it's through pain that those muscles are gonna tone. So I really want you to follow that logic. So now we're saying that our subconscious is 95% of our mind. Now it is 1 million times faster than the conscious mind. So if you have now something happens to you, the conscious mind, I think it's 40 idea per second. The subconscious mind is 40 million idea per second. It's so trained that it jumps in and takes the perspective that works for it. Like if I had trauma, if I had a really bad childhood, immediately I'll think of a situation as bad. Let's take an example. I had an accident on the street while I'm coming here, let's say. I have two ways of thinking. So my mind, the role of the mind is to choose a perspective and give it to the brain so the brain can react. I could either say, okay, yes, fine, the car is broken. I don't know what happened. My life is screwed. I hate it. Or I can say, you know what? Let me deal with that now, and then later on we'll fix whatever needs fixing. So one perspective is a love perspective or a hope perspective, and the other one is a fear perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with the good perspective or the hope perspective, what happens is my mind, all the dopamine, all the positive hormones go up, or positive chemicals go up. When they go up, my immunity doesn't stop because my immunity loves energy. My system keeps on operating, and that's why my mind is not closed. My mind is open to all the different possibilities. I'll go home, I'll call the insurance company, I'll do a report, and after that, I'll deal with it. Now, the other one is, you see, I was expecting that. My life is horrible. I hate it. What happens in this case? The cortisol goes up.
Yeah.
When the cortisol goes up, immunity stops.
Yeah.
Stops because cortisol takes a lot of energy with it. Because when cortisol is up, adrenaline glands overreact. Our system, like our heart, becomes like. I'm French educated, so sometimes
Yeah.
I forgot the word. So
Yeah, no.
so the heart starts beating so fast. The digestion system. The other day, someone asked me, my digestion has been bad these couple of days. I said, "Are you stressed?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's it." So all our system gets complicated. Our immunity stops. So most probably we're gonna get the flu. We're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
So that's the mind. So our mind, the way we train it, is how our outcome is going to be. Now, you asked me something about the positive. Some people call it toxic positivity, about fluffy words. Honestly, sometimes you need to trick your mind, even if it's not feeling well. When you trick it with those positive, when you read those positive things, what happens? Your mind is going to put the positive hormones, serotonin, dopamine, there are four of them. When they're up, you feel better and you can operate. You can help your kids, you can do your work. So imagine, this is our system. So if we know how to hack it
Yeah.
and not get stuck in stress, because stress is there. Stress is a good thing because it helps us manage stuff.
But if we're taking it from fear, then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
because then you prove to yourself
Yes. And
whatever you thought was wrong
is wrong.
Is wrong. Yeah.
And like I'm trying to think of people I've been helping in the last few days. When someone is really stuck in that negative cycle, it becomes your comfort zone. So even when things
True.
are going right,
Yeah.
you find a way. You find a way to say, I'm a failure because let's say you wanted something so bad and it happened because someone else did it. Instead of celebrating and it happened, like there was an actor in your life that made it happen, you're like, oh no, they took the credit. Who cares? You wanted this thing to happen.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things in life that we think we are factual about, but honestly, it's all relative to the way we see things and the lenses that our parents put on our face or our carers or whoever we cross paths with.
Now, I'm not religious, but I do love Mariah Carey. And Mariah Carey is very religious. And one of her songs, there's a preacher that starts the song and it says something like, folks will be taking advantage of you because they believe you're too weak. You don't need to stand up for yourself. Be still.
Yeah.
Be still and let God do his work. And I love what you're saying about, you're narrow, you're fearful, you're worried, your cortisol's up. But if you were to be still, then your brain will widen, your cortisol will
Yes.
go down.
Yes. And that's why faith sometimes is the way. Even when I was studying psychology in Australia, yeah, the course was teaching that people of faith are less prone to depression. Why? Look, life happens. Even if you tell me you're God, I can tell you, you can't control everything.
Yeah.
There are things that are gonna happen. Now, the easiest way to trick yourself is to think that there is something much stronger than me, much powerful than me. If you think of faith, I believe in God, right? Someone believes in universe. Someone, I don't know what people believe in.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I believe in Mariah Carey.
When you believe in something stronger than you, it's going to help you give excuses to the bad thing happening in your life. But if you fight those bad things, what's going to happen? Let's go back to the cortisol. I'm fighting means my cortisol is up.
Yeah.
When my cortisol is up, all my energy is drained because I'm fighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I lose even interest from the morning. I wake up, I'm drained. And here I'd say each one of us wakes up with 1,000 points of energy. Let's say $1,000 of energy, right? That energy either is going to help you to be creative, to go through your day in such a good way, or you don't have it because you already spent it somewhere that is not really good. Let's say if you have now $1,000 and you wake up and you hear someone on the street shouting and he knew you have the money and then give me your money and really shouting to a point that you can't handle it anymore, you go and give them the money. Or you wake up, you hear that noise, but you knew you need petrol for your car, you needed money for your insurance, you needed money for your mobile phone, because you know if your mobile phone is working, you can call people, you can connect with people, you can go wherever you want. If you have a car, you can go wherever you want. But if you let go of that energy and you give it to the most noisy places of your life,
Yeah.
you're not going to
The most demanding.
Exactly. But
And the
sometimes-
least demanding thing is yourself.
Yes, but you are the car that is taking you everywhere. So if you don't maintain it, and that's where
Then
being
screwed.
proactive,
Yeah.
not waiting till I fall apart to take care of myself. Even in the airplane, the hostess says, put your oxygen first
Yeah. Yeah.
and then give it to your children. Because we have the tendency to give the children the oxygen first. But by the time I give the oxygen to my children, if I'm deprived, I'll die and they can't do anything without me.
Yeah.
So the best way to do it is to put your oxygen first. Make sure you are aware. Make sure you are not on autopilot. Because sometimes being on that autopilot, when I say autopilot, means the 95% of my life are taking me through things I'm not even aware. I arrive home and I don't know what happened on the road.
Yeah.
So instead of being on autopilot, just be aware that you are the machine that is driving your life.
Yeah.
Take care of it, and then make sure that everyone else is good. Now, if they are in danger, I will immediately jump in. But on the long run, if every day I take that time where I really reflect on what's going on before I start my day, instead of jumping in on that big list
Before jumping out of bed, straight in the shower, off to work.
and doing the same thing over
Yeah,
and over,
yeah, yeah.
think about what you're doing and put a list. Yes, you have due dates now, let's say, and you have to deliver this, that, and the other. Yes, right. Then now is the season for your work, right? Put that season in, like, in action. Say, okay, I normally do this with my kids. They're used to this. I'll explain to my kids. And this is what a lot of us don't do. If you come and sit with your kids and you explain to them instead of disappearing and not doing stuff, and they're going to feel that there's something wrong, let's say with kids. We need to sit and talk to our kids, especially after 12, as if they are our partners,
Yeah, I agree.
business partners. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing, and that's a whole different subject.
This is a whole different
Yeah.
subject
So
because
we're not going to go into that, but honestly,
we touched on it a little bit when we talked
so
when we met.
important. Yeah.
And I've got a 13-year-old, and the conversations that I have of all of her friends, she's quite open with me. I'm really lucky. Like she tells me what everyone's going through, and it just sounds like every single 13-year-old that she knows
Yes.
is having a massive personal struggle.
Yes, because they are moving from being dependent on us to being independent. Some parents like you, if you're saying she's open with you, means you are giving her the chance to be independent. You are acknowledging that she is growing up. And one more thing is personality styles. We have different personality styles. And when we talk to our kids, if we understand that they're different than us, we actually acknowledge their presence. But
Yeah, I
I've
love
seen
that.
so many parents in Australia specifically, actually everywhere. They want their kids to be another version of themselves. And we actually resist them being different
Yeah.
to a point that they lose their identity. And this is when we start having problems with our kids.
Well, and that translates to so many things, doesn't it?
Yes.
It translates to
To the way they choose their
work as
partners,
well,
the
and
way you work, our work. It's a ripple effect. So that's why
let people be themselves. Oh,
and
it's beautiful.
as parents, we are the foundation of the society as a whole.
Yeah.
And if we are able to raise those kids in, it suddenly came like, I'm an architect, right?
Yeah.
When I used to design, I used to tell people, I want to design something for you, for your needs. So when you come, you tell me what you need, and I do something that really incorporates your needs. However, a lot of architects, what they do, they have this view of life, and they want their clients to live up to the view of their lives, and they end up designing homes and spaces for these people that are not for them. They're for the architect themselves.
Yeah.
In life, that's what we do when designing our kids' lives. We don't look at their needs and say, it's a new generation. They have completely different views. Sit with them, give them the space to tell you how they're thinking and guide them. Because as per our story at the beginning, from 0 to 12, you had the chance to sculpt that personality. But yet, there is something in the DNA that you cannot change. Your role after 12 and 13 is to only guide, not to control, not to keep on pushing them to do what you want them to do. Listen.
Yeah.
In
Not to
those
criticize the
Yes.
little
The little
things that don't
things.
matter, probably.
Exactly. But even if they matter, do you want them to shut up and keep their ideas to themselves, and later on you're going to be shocked what they did? Or let them say something you don't like. Try to put yourself in their shoes and try to give them the advice, not from, oh, that's wrong, that's unacceptable, that's like, you shouldn't do that. Instead, say, okay, if I was in your place, you know what? Based on this, that, and the other, that's how I think. Then they go and sleep on it. And trust me, if you say it in a respectful way and in a partnership way, they will understand and they will stop and think of what you said, but not in front of you. In front of you, they're going to say, no, 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 that makes no sense.
There's so many rabbit holes that
Yes.
you have created that we could go down. We could talk for hours.
Yes.
But like, just to sort of summarize what we've been talking about, I think, and especially as I'm sleep deprived, overworked, need a break, I got to do dinner tonight and all this kind of crap.
Order.
You know what I mean?
Go to the supermarket, get ready made.
I've got food in the fridge and it's gonna go off. And
Even if it's gonna go off, let's summarize with this. I think every person listening to us today is dealing with this. For me, my nightmare is cooking. This week I got my
nightmare is
fatigue.
washing up. I can do the cooking bit. It's the washing up.
And
that pisses
washing
me.
for me, I told my daughter, can you learn? And she started learning and she's cooking, but she's traveling next week. And I'm like, ah. But really, we have to find ways to release that pressure. If you are during this season of your life where work is taking priority, go and get ready-made stuff. Ready-made lasagna from whoever. I'm not going to
Go easy on yourself.
Get this. Do things that are easy just for now. Stop being harsh on yourself and trying to be the best. I want to do. Yes, you cooked it. You put it in the oven.
And what was the thing that you did 20 years ago that you haven't had time for? What's the thing you can go back to? Knitting or for me it's the skating at the weekend. You know, like what did you put down that you need to
Dancing in clubs.
Oh, really? On tables?
And on the speaker. Look, I've always loved dancing. And now I'm pushing my daughter to create that evening where we do a regular like I want to recreate this through my daughters. So we're building this community of people and we are trying to find a place.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And you can't connect to that past and make it happen if you're overwhelmed.
Also, I don't know if, I'm worried about what I would look like but you know, like I remember that feeling in 20s of like, I'm free and I'm dancing on a table and screw you guys and I'm drunk and
But
who
you know, we
cares?
can't.
Yeah.
We have to summarize.
Yeah, we're going off on another rabbit hole.
Think of it this way. When you were in year 1 and you did your math test, it was so hard. When you reach year 12 and looking at someone in year 1, you're saying, oh, that's so easy. Come on, do it this way.
Yeah.
Every stage of our life, there is something we will enjoy. Looking back and getting attached to those moments and feeling we lost something is a recipe for disaster. So what I would say is live today as it is your last day.
Yeah.
Say, what do I really want that makes a difference for me today?
How can I widen my mind?
Yes. And when you start enjoying every single second as if it is your last, you stop looking back and you look forward and you say, okay, what can I do today to make that thing come true? But don't attach your happiness to that thing that's going to happen. So be happy as you're doing the things you're doing today and create something new. You don't have to go back to enjoy that time. Enjoy something new.
I love it. I love your beaming face as you talk about it as well. Dima has written a book, Intentional Reset. Do you want to just give a quick synopsis and where people can find this?
Okay, you can contact me and I can send it by email. So that book, I'm writing another book and that one I will promote. But this one, honestly, when I hit rock bottom and I reach that time where I'm helping people and they're getting really happier and I'm saving people from the misery of mental stuckness. I thought when COVID hit, it's actually, I wrote it during COVID. I said, what if I die So during that time, we didn't know what's going to happen if we catch COVID. So I thought, I don't want to leave aboard the journey with all the information in my head. So I put everything in it. It took me 6 days to write. It took me years to think about. But
Yeah.
during these 6 days, I was stuck in the lockdown back home. And I sat and I wrote as if I was talking to one of those people that contacted me on Instagram. And I wrote the whole book in 6 days. And the book is actually a guide. All what we talked about today is in the book.
And you can tell that you're an architect because there's just like diagrams.
And my daughter at that time, she was the one who drew everything for me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it has a lot of stories. So honestly, I encourage people to contact me. You can contact me on Instagram, like mindarchitecture.au, or in LinkedIn, whatever. And I can send it. I can send it by email for people to read, because it has a lot of questions. And I told you about the questions at the beginning. I made sure that the book really stops people from just wanting to finish the book and answer the question. When you answer these questions, your awareness is going to rise up. Your emotional intelligence is going to change. So I'm happy to share it with whoever.
That's beautiful. Yeah, we could go for hours,
Yes,
but
I know.
thank you so much, Dima.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your smiling face, and you told me that you were going to change my mood, and
I hope I did.
I do feel I've gained a centimeter or two in my brain width. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.